Hello everyone, my name is the SeaTactics, and welcome to my episode 11 review of Legend of the Galactic Heroes. We have one more episode left, and I do want to say, this episode didn't have as many things as the last episode did. Episode 10 had so many things in it that you can just analyze. This one didn't have too much. This one was a lot of action, a lot of setting up for, well, the last episode and the 3 movies to come afterwards, and possibly the season 2 or something like that. I don't know. So this review is basically going to be pretty short compared to my last 2. So sorry about that if you're looking for a very long, in-depth kind of deep dive into this episode. There wasn't a whole lot to, well, dive into. It was a lot of surface stuff. It was a lot of, well, seeing rather than analyzing, I guess. So, let's get right into it. Episode 11 of Legend of the Galactic Heroes begins with the Alliance's invasion of the Empire. But things don't go as planned, as immediately there are some logistical problems. Problems which probably should have been solved before the invasion. The people of the Empire are starving, and so they need enough to basically feed all of the Empire's people that are starving. It turns out that they don't actually have enough for that, so to do so, they'd actually have to go through pretty much all of their food, which they don't have. And this is the Empire's plan all along, because they want the Alliance weak so they can attack them and attack their food chain as well. So it's a very brilliant plan. I mean, it's pretty good stuff. They get to take out the Alliance, and they also get to feed their people as well, and then take the rest of the food and starve them even more while crippling the Empire for a potential counter-invasion. And I must say, damn, when that happened, I didn't even think about that last episode. I didn't even cross my mind they'd do something like this, but they went ahead and did it, and I was just like, that's so obvious. Like, now that I'm seeing it, I'm like, how did the Alliance not know that they would do something like this? How did they not foresee all of these people starving? I mean, last episode you had Falk going, these people are oppressed. They don't know what freedom is like. And, well, he was right about that part, and it turns out he didn't think enough to realize that, hey, these people would be starving. We need to give them food. So, I mean, they came with no food. So, I don't know where I think Alliance's head was at more war. I didn't think they thought of the logistics of something like this and how it would affect the Alliance. So, it's something they probably should have thought about. It is, but they didn't. And it cost them. And it cost them pretty much this whole invasion. Even though I don't think they, had it locked in, I think they had a chance, and I think now they're at a severe disadvantage just because of the food supply thing and all of that. So, I mean, and really it's the mismanagement on the Alliance's side is embarrassing. I mean, how do they not catch any of this? It just goes to show how misguided this whole ordeal is anyways, and how dumb it is. And I think last episode, or maybe it was this episode, it's probably this episode, someone said, this is a dumb battle, this is a dumb war. And I mean, I agree at this point. This is beyond childish. This is ego, this is hubris, this is whatever you want to call it. They should have never done this. They put themselves at a huge disadvantage. But anyways, moving on, Yang is smartened to Reinhardt's plan and suggests an all-out retreat from the Empire. He then tells him to inform Bukok of this decision. But back on the Empire soil, things are getting a little bit out of hand. The Empire's people have turned hostile against the Alliance's men and start a sort of riot. This proves troublesome, and so the Alliance basically doubled down on their retreat, except that's not what happens. Falk basically tells his own people to fuck off and refuses to let the Alliance retreat, making his face more punchable. Then he is insulted so bad that he has a seizure. Then the mustache guy who's insulting him, the guy who's basically talking to him the whole time, is basically told to do anything that Falk asks him to do so that he doesn't have a seizure again, or doesn't have to deal with all that stress, and then once again is basically told to fuck off. So, what Mustache Man does is he takes the matter into his own hands and basically ends the call, and he basically says, I have a duty to my people. I will do whatever damn well I please. This is stupid. Falk, real big asshole. He's a fucking asshole. That's who he is. I'm so glad he got a seizure for being such an asshole and got so butthurt that he had a seizure. Falk is an asshole. He's an asshole. I mean, that's his character. I mean, the way he smiles and the way he's like, retreat? We're the Alliance. You can't retreat. I'm sure you can take on a couple people. I mean, I'm sure you can feed a couple people, right? And then Mustache Man is like, well, you know what? You're a bitch. And he's like, I can't take it, seizure. Although that scene is kind of a little jarring. It does come a little bit out of nowhere, and it's just like, what's going on here? What is up with this scene? So, I mean, that's kind of like, that wasn't the best thing in this episode, is Falk's seizure scene. It was weird. I don't know. And it makes me wonder why Falk even got in the position he's in now if he has seizures from all of this stress. And why the guy was like, yo, you got to do what he says. You got to make him happy so he doesn't have another seizure. And he's like, why don't we get rid of him? And I'm like, why is he even a part of the Alliance in this position? He should have not been there to begin with. What? Who is employing that guy? He's a hazard. He's a walking hazard. He's almost as bad as he's probably worse than Rudolph, the guy who leads the Empire, whatever his name is. He's worse than that guy, from what I've seen. I mean, sure, yeah, he starves his people and whatever, but Falk, I wouldn't put it past Falk to do that shit. Falk is a really bad person. He's an asshole too, and I fear that it's probably already too late for the Alliance at this point. I think the Empire has got their number, and I think the Empire, because they knew that this was going to happen, and that the Alliance doesn't know that the Empire is going to happen, they're already launching an attack. I mean, you know, it's laughable. It's laughable how they got in this position to begin with, and how cocky they got. Where they were just like, you know, well, we won Izerlon, so let's just go in for the kill. Such a misguided effort. Such a stupid decision they made. And then you go back to the politicians. I like the cut when they cut back to the politicians in this episode, because it really set forth exactly the political bullshit of this universe, and the political bullshit in general in dealing with war. You saw that one chick who was all for war just clapping like, aha, yes, it's working out. It almost makes me wish the Alliance will lose, and I don't want the Alliance to lose, because my boy, Yang Wen Lee would lose, and I don't want him to lose. He's my boy. But I definitely think the Empire at this point, if they're not going to take this battle as a W, I think they'll be pretty close to doing so, because I don't think the Alliance has any chance at this point. It's such a misguided effort, one that could have been avoided, yet it wasn't for many reasons. At least we got to see Frederica. That's a plus. Frederica's great. So at the end of the episode, there's this whole really awesome sequence where I guess they do like a pre-war ritual where they all drink some red wine and they throw the glass on the ground. Then they go out to war. The Empire basically start to head towards the Alliance position to attack them. It was a really awesome sequence. The music was really good. By the way, the music in this episode was fantastic. The opening, when you saw the Alliance invading, the music that was playing was really good. And in this last scene, the music was very good. Very, very good. The score in this series is incredible. I don't see why people hate this anime so much, and I don't see why people hate the score in particular so much, because the score is perfect. Like, it's so good. So I'm not sure what the problem there is, but I don't know. That's it for the episode, though. What did you think about this episode of Legend of Galactic Heroes? I thought it was a pretty good one. Last episode was a lot of talking, a lot of political debate, a lot of analyzing, a lot of character moments. And this episode was definitely more show, less tell. And I really liked that from this episode. And I think next episode, we're going to get the big culmination to the series. I mean, next episode is the last episode. So I'll be interested to see what they do. I'm really excited for the movies that are to come out. I hope there's a season 2 of this. I hope they continue on with whatever they're planning to do with this series. And I'm excited. I think I'm going to go ahead and start watching the OVAs. And I may do something for that. I want to. It's just finding the time to do it and figuring out how I want to do it is a little difficult. So there may be something for those OVAs in the future that may not be. I'm not saying to expect it, but just know I am thinking about it. I am trying to figure it out, but we'll see. Other than that, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed my discussion, my review of episode 11 of Legend of the Galactic Heroes, please make sure to give this video a like. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a video from me. And tell your friends about me. Share this video on Twitter, wherever it may be. I appreciate all the support you give me, you can give me. It means a lot to me. I'll see you guys later.